For anyone who's unable to make it, can definitely check out the recording. But welcome everybody to the Daring Faith Coach Team Call. So excited to have you guys here. As always, I like to start off with a little bit of, also if you guys can make sure to mute yourselves just to make sure, because otherwise there's a little bit of a feedback delay. And you can always unmute yourself when you need to pop in and have a question. But just wanted to give a little shout out. We've got some new coaches in the house. Ashley, welcome to the team. We also have Hope, who hopefully she will be able to be able to get on tonight. I know she is having some computer complications, so hopefully she'll be here. I want to give a little shout out to Sam for signing up a coach today. Brittany for freaking rocking, sharing Shelly's post, her transformation today. That was absolutely amazing. And Molly, kudos to you for saying, you know what, screw it. I recognize the level of ownership I got to take with these beach bars. Like, what in the world was that about? So I just wanted to recognize you for that, because that is seriously, it's really hard for us to take ownership when we're like, we get mad at somebody else for not doing something. We're like, wait a minute, I could maybe be doing better myself. So that was a huge, huge wake-up call. And so I hope that you're able to take that and run with it. So thanks for being bold and vulnerable and willing to share that, because I think that's a truth that a lot of us are unwilling sometimes to share. So so good job there. Also wanted to give a shout out to Nikki, because she's been coming out a little bit more and I can see her glow and her spirit is shining bright. So I thought that was amazing too. It's those little things that we do every day that make such the world of a difference in what we do as coaches. And so it's funny because I'm the kind of coach that, like, I get so angry when I see that parents like give trophies to like everybody, because it's like, okay, there's got to be somebody that wins and somebody that loses. It's just life. Yet I'm so bad because I want to point out the goodness no matter how big or small it is. So like I'm kind of like writing up everybody's name, like, how can I recognize them? So anyways, moving on, that's our recognition for the night. And I just wanted to dive straight into this. So that we can really open this up for Q&A, share whatever struggles anyone might be going through, maybe doubts, fears, just not understanding whatever process there might be in this business. As we know, or we may not know, this is very much we live in a microwave society, and coaching is 100% a crock pot mentality. We have to adapt. This is a very much, too bad Instapot life is not a thing, because, man, let me tell you guys, it is amazing. If you haven't been watching my stories, I can't tell you, like, my husband just went from, like, I loved him, like, 1,000 to, like, a bajillion tenfold, because he's making all these Instapot recipes. But anyways, what I really wanted to focus on tonight was how to really create a movement. There's so many of us here in this team that I know your heart's in it. I know how bad you want this, and yet so often we can let things get in the way, and those things a lot of times are right in between our ears, and it's the worst thing that can defeat us on a daily basis. And so with that said, with 4 years of experience, I've never been in such a great place with this coaching business, and the only reason why I'm here to be able to speak on that is because the level of consistency and the movement that I've been creating. And if I can do this, everybody can do this. And a lot of times, the only thing that's keeping us from feeling like we can is self-defeat and just not being willing enough to say, you know what, I got to get over myself, and I've got to just put in the work and recognize that when I'm flipping tired out of my mind, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to get refueled when I fill my cup up and when I pour out. And as I'm pouring out to others because I filled up my cup, I'm suddenly going to start feeling this amazing energy of the empowerment that you feel when somebody else feels that movement and that creation within inside of you. And so I speak with a lot of passion because of how many conversations I had. I literally was just telling Joe of a prayer request, an answer to prayer that I wasn't even asking for. Because you guys, I'm having conversations with people that are coming to, and you are, I'm sure, getting them too. And if you're not, you're going to start getting them the more and more you have conversations with people. But hearing the pain and the hurt in people's lives, and then me having the ability to actually be confident enough to say, can I pray for you? And to be able to take a moment out of my day and just sit down for a second and pray for that person and let them know that I'm praying. It is the most empowering feeling ever. And I was just, you know what, God, this is amazing. Like, I would have never seen this as an open opportunity to be able to have those kind of moments with people on a deeper, more intimate level. That may not be your thing. And I'm not trying to press that, oh my gosh, you're a terrible coach if you're not praying for other people. But the idea there behind that is we are here to help give people life and to help see what's in it for them. And so within that movement comes you having to be able to plug in on a daily basis and do the vital behaviors. And so if you haven't already completed the Dare to Dream University training, so important to get that knocked out, to ask as many questions as you can within this team and within Dare to Dream, from your coach, whoever it is that's going to help you throughout this, because the moment that you adapt that and don't reinvent the wheel, are willing to be coachable, you're hearing me say it over and over again as I'm sharing tips throughout the group every day, but when you're willing to be coachable, when you're willing to open up and treat this business like a business, are willing to be comfortable getting uncomfortable, because that's really what this business is all about every day. And the more I've noticed that I do that and that you do it as a person, it's amazing how much the more you're willing to get uncomfortable, it's not that it gets easier, but your confidence grows within you, that you're more okay with putting yourself out there. Not obviously there are certain things that we need to keep to ourselves. It's just personal and private situations. But when it's something that you know could maybe empower somebody else, or that maybe somebody else might be struggling with it too, because we live in a society where everything's kept so deep within and we don't share it, and everybody feels so alone. So I just challenge you to really, really consider that and dig deep into that. So, and the last thing, being hungry enough for this is so unbelievably important, which is why I always talk about from this Get Over Yourself book. Thank God Sam opened that up to my life, because I don't know where the heck, I mean, here she's praising on me today, and I'm like, girl, like my business is at a whole new level because of you. But really, that book is so amazing. And so I highly recommend, if you haven't picked it up, you got to get it. It's called Get Over Your Damn Self, and it's absolutely amazing. It's the perfect blueprint to success. I am literally, I think, on like number 5 of going through it. I haven't even gotten my next, like I already purchased another book, but I haven't even opened it, because it literally has been just rocking my life. And I'm like, I've got to know this book like the back of my hand. And I'm even rereading chapters as I'm going through it the 5th time. So it's incredible. But anyways, so that movement, why I want to bring that up and reflect on this for a few minutes is because you guys have been seeing me every day sharing an idea for a post. You may already have something in mind for that day. And if you do, this is not the end all be all only thing that you can do. I'm just sharing it as an opportunity to give you like a, what should I do today? Because I know for me in the past, it was hard to really always think about what's the next thing that I can do. And so I want to, hold on, I actually just realized I want to make sure that I do a gallery view. Okay, there we go. It's because those posts sometimes, like, especially if we're struggling in certain things in our life, if we're uncertain of who we are in this business, how to brand ourselves, how to speak to a particular audience, the more and more we allow the posts to just come and flow natural, and we're doing that personal development, sticking to our workout and drinking Shakeology, the more you're going to come to fruition. So just know that it will start to flow, but you have to do it every day. And so the reason I'm doing those posts and saying, hey, everybody, share in the group when you've posted, is because as we heard from Carl Deichler himself, the CEO of this business, I think he might know what he's doing, right? He's obviously doing something right if he's built $1 million business and is actually like helping hundreds and thousands of people build businesses. So when he mentioned that tip about how to tag your coach or to tag whoever's helping you in your Insta stories and what you're doing, it's not because, like, I'm not trying to tell you guys, hey, tag me so that I can get all the credit. It's not about that. It's about the fact that we get to see, like, when somebody else sees that that there's a movement out of this and that there's more people than just this one person they're hearing from. When we're sharing stories and transformations, notice I said story. We don't just share the product. We don't just plop up a picture of a workout. Like, Beachbody takes care of that for us. But when we share stories and we're allowing this team to come together, that's where that movement is going to take place. That's when Team Daring Faith is going to get heard. That's when you can be proud of a team that you stand for, just like as much as I'm proud, and we are all proud to be part of Dare to Dream, how much that impact makes a difference. For example, today, Rebecca, I forget her last name. Sam, someone you've been working with, and we've talked about her. She's signing up next week. Well, she's been liking my posts a lot. Today, what did I do? I reached out and said, girl, I'm so excited. I know that you've been talking to Sam. When are you signing up? Cannot wait for you to be part of this team. And so she's like, yes, I'm so excited. I'm going to be here next week. What does that do? It helps her see that other people care and that we are actually a team and supporting each other. And that's what this is all about. And there's one little segment I want to do on a little side note, rabbit trail. Within this book, there's actually, she brings up this topic about three-way calls. And that's something that I want us to all eventually be able to get to, because I think it speaks so much truth. It's just like within our open house, Dare to Dream, how you're able to plug people in, which is tomorrow night. If you've not been a part of that before, definitely plug into that. It's at 8:30 Eastern. It's 30 minutes, 3 coaches that get to share their stories and a little bit more of the how-to of coaching. And we do that twice a month within Dare to Dream. When we add people to that, after you've already talked with them about coaching, they're already a little bit familiar, but they're maybe a little wishy-washy about, I don't know if I want to do this. And they get to see other people who are like inspiring and motivating and contagious, and the energy is all there, and something just clicks, or a story of theirs might click a little bit more than what your story might. It's amazing what that does. And so again, just it's all about building and creating that movement and allowing this to be something that we're proud of and that we can't help but we can't shut up about it. I can't shut up about Shakeology. I can't shut up about my pregnancy. I can't shut up about the Instapot. I mean, for real. Like, I literally just had somebody like text me earlier today saying they bought an Instapot and are in the Instapot club with us now. And I'm like, yes, that's what this is about. So it's movement. It's so much about movement and so much about posting every day. It doesn't have to be complicated, but yet we as humans love to complicate it. So I want to leave it there so that I can actually open up the floor for questions. Whatever you have, you can either type them in or you can unmute yourself and ask. Whatever you might be struggling with, whether it's posting, inviting, how to make that process work out for you, personal development, how to fit this into your routine. Ask one question at a time so that we can make sure that everybody has a voice tonight. But whoever wants to get started first can go ahead and get going. So that's on you. Let's see if I... Yes, absolutely. Michael's story. Became cancer free after, and he literally worked out and did chemo treatment and everything. It's unreal. And he'll actually be on the open house tomorrow night as well. So you'll get to hear from him. But yeah. All right, you guys, don't be quiet on me now. You got 15 minutes. I need my water. All right, I saw you unmuted yourself.
Oh, who? Oh, just me? Okay.
Yep.
Oh man, I typed that and I completely had a brain fart.
Hey, Nick.
Oh, I was gonna ask, I know, like, I just signed up Jordan, but she didn't go through the open house or anything. So I think it would be beneficial for her to actually see that as well. Rather than, I mean, obviously we want people that we're trying to, share everything with for them to see the value of signing up as a coach and everything. But I think that new coaches that haven't actually been through the open house and gotten to hear those stories and everything, I think it's beneficial for them as well. So I'll definitely be adding her to it.
Absolutely. I mean, anything, like, I don't know what is wrong with my brain. I think it's just because they just transitioned into being different, but they're actually doing if you guys didn't see, what was it, 2 nights ago? The Dare to Dream Diamonds open table, where it's like a live feed where anyone can ask a question. You type in the question and other Diamond coaches in the team are there to answer those questions and kind of walk you through that. It's phenomenal. It's an amazing resource. I failed to remind you guys of that, so my apologies, but they will do that. Obviously they do it every month. So I'll definitely make sure I'm better about that. But it's an amazing opportunity. Like, anything that we can ever do to create community within Dare to Dream and all of that, like it's down from anything online when we have our Super Saturday events quarterly, obviously the summit event, anything that we can do to engage that community for you to feel like you're part of something. It is amazing how much when you plug yourself in, it is 100% up to you. But yes, back to what you were saying about the open house, such a huge thing. It doesn't matter if you have people plugging in there or not. Would you think about it this way? If you didn't have somebody in, but you knew either one of your coaches or somebody on your team or whatever, if you wanted that support, if you were the one like as a guest in that call, would you not want the support from your team to know that they're there for you? Right? So we have to be there. We have to let go of that. This is all about us and recognize that this is 100% about helping other people, has nothing to do with us. Obviously we're filling up our own cup and that's why we're here, but you get my point. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Absolutely.
And the other thing, the diamond table, is that the like the speed dating thing, basically? Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I missed that too.
Yeah, I caught it the last like 5 minutes. I was like, oh crap,
because we were at softball practice in the rain.
Yeah, it used to not be alive. It used to just be like they would have a photo and then just type, and then you would type responses back, and it would be really hard to kind of like do it as quickly as possible. And so it's a fantastic feature. I'm so glad. Thank God for Facebook Live, right? So yeah. Ashley, tell me how Dare to Dream University is going.
So I haven't finished it yet. I've gotten rather far in it. I got last night where I posted my coming out post. Pretty vulnerable, made me feel a little bit queasy, but afterward I felt really good. But now I have like all these messages flooding in and I'm like, what do I do? I'm still so new at it that it's like, okay, where do I start? Because I want to reach everybody who's reaching out, but it's kind of overwhelming. I was at work all day today from 9:30 to 6. And then I came home and I almost talked myself out of my workout and my Shago, but I didn't. And then I was like, well, crap, I haven't posted yet today. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to make a post. So when you're saying you want to, post every day and share your story and share your journey, does it have to be like an actual post? On my story today, and I shared my story, but I haven't made like an actual post, like to social media. So I was just curious if you need to do both, or is one more beneficial than the other. I don't know.
Ooh, can I answer this one?
Go for it. Knock it out.
Because I got in trouble for it just last week. Okay, so keep in mind that the stories are only 24 hours. So, and this is something that I'm still like trying to get used to. I have my own challenge group as well, so I'm so involved with that sometimes I forget, and it's like towards the end of the day, and I haven't posted anything on my wall. But Ashley continues to remind me that if you go onto your profile and you scroll, and in the first 3 to 5 posts, it's not something that is like content that is going to grab somebody's attention. What's the word I'm looking for? It has value. Then you definitely need to be posting more. But so definitely posting on your page is going to be more beneficial than your stories are. That doesn't mean to say that your stories aren't beneficial, but but the posts will last longer.
All right.
Awesome.
Good to know. Thank you.
And to
kind of like,
go ahead, Ashley.
No, I was just saying that was helpful because I wasn't sure, which one was more beneficial, what reaches more people, because I can see, my coming out post got a lot of feedback, and I just was so busy today, and I was like, I need to do my workout, I need to get my Shaco, I got to do this, I got to do that, and then here we are in the call, and I'm like, okay, so what's really like, what makes the most impact? What's going to reach people and story and help them, and what could possibly help their lives too. So that's beneficial. Thank you, Sam.
Awesome. And yeah, Ashley, it's
I'm trying to think of
you're gonna find yourself like there's gonna be those days because you're in a whole new world of figuring out how to make this all work in your life and how to strategically set your time management and all of that throughout the day. So it's going to come with time. And so don't expect perfection and just go with the flow. And if a day like today, we obviously all want you to be filling up your cup first. Like that is first and foremost. So the fact that you did your workout and did your shake, that's have to do that first before I can, make a post because that's going to be important. But you'll get in that flow and you'll figure out what works best for you over time. So yeah, great question. All right, Molly, let's hear a little bit from you, ma'am.
Oh, I just want to also say, Ashley, whenever you share your story and it makes you feel nauseous, you did it right.
Yeah. Yep, when you feel like you want to step away from the computer and you don't even want to look for like an hour, that's when you know you did it right. Absolutely. All right, Molly, your turn.
I thought I was the only one that felt like never looking at the post to see who responded after I posted it. Well, you saw my thing earlier, and this is sort of related. And sadly, it's somebody that, once again, I thought was in my corner. But how do you respond to somebody whenever they say the Beachbody is a pyramid scheme? I know I've heard this before, but it just caught me so off guard, and all I wanted to do was punch him.
We all get this.
Yeah, but not from somebody that's close to you that's supposed to be like, behind you and supporting you and the whole thing. And it's like, really, dude? Anyway.
That, honestly, Molly, the people that are closest to you are going to be the ones to be most against you. 100%. It's unfortunate. And it's not always, you'll have like some people here and there that don't have that situation, but majority of the time, most people, and a lot of times, they might be the kind of people that don't even tell you that they don't agree with you, but they still think you're crazy. So that's one of those things, again, kind of going back to what we were just saying with the post, like if you can't walk away or feel a little intimidated, you're doing something right if you have some, and I honestly hate even having to say that. Like it grinds my gears. It really does. But it's just one of those things where you just have to, that's where you have to recognize like, who am I and what am I doing this for? And if that person feels that way, then they're not here. They're not for you. They're not going to be, they're not going to be a customer. And sometimes those happen to be the people that they're just waiting. They want to be that fly on the wall. They want to pretend to make fun, but at the end of the day, seeing you succeed, they're going to be the ones that are going to come back and be like, oh my gosh, okay, you were right. So Merry Christmas to you. You just got a present, like gifted to your front doorstep of like, yes,
Yay!
game on.
Well, I feel better now.
Yes. So I'm proud of you though for sharing that. Like I said earlier, it's not easy to overcome something like that, and we can let it too often overcome our ability to be who we are and be in Christ, and not let any of that mess get to us and allow us to, we're supposed to be up here. We're on this level for ourselves, and sometimes people can drag us down. But that's why personal development on a daily basis is so vital, because like I said, from the beginning of the call, it's between the two ears that keep us from what we're capable of doing, right? So
Definitely.
So yeah, awesome. What's up, Nikki?
Oh, Molly, just to add to that real quick, just remember that also like finding your niche is going to lead you away from those people that are going to be negative like that, because this is not for everybody, and that's fine. If it was open to everybody, it wouldn't be as special as it is. So I wouldn't even entertain anything that they have to say, really. Just allow them to have their opinion and keep moving. Move on to the ones that do want this and that will benefit from it rather than bring it down.
Thanks, Sam.
Amen, sister. Dynamite Sam in the house. All right, Nikki, how are you?
Hey, sorry, I was getting Ava to bed and nursing her and stuff
You're
like that.
good.
I
Mom,
was just listening for a while.
yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Somebody else is going to be leading the call before you know it, because so not to put you on spot. So if you feel like you're not prepared for a question, then perfectly fine. But we are on Q&A. So I know that you were kind of asking some questions this morning about inviting and stuff like that. So is there anything off the top of your head that you have that you'd like to ask the group?
Now, in terms of like inviting, I feel like I've been focusing more on building myself as my brand for Beachbody so that people can see that first. I do have my list of people that like I'm slowly trying to work on, but like I'm one of those people where I want to see things before it happens, and so like I feel like I have to give that before I can invite people into this. That's just how I feel.
It's belief, right?
Yeah.
Going from being the used car salesman to like a share person.
Right. Yeah. So I kind of I want people more to ask me like, well, what's different? What are you doing? You know, like obviously I'm still going to invite, but I want like my motivation for inviting is like, cause people see like a change in me because of this lifestyle that I've become a part of.
Absolutely. No, I think that's beautiful and that's powerful and that's going to happen. And again, kind of going back, I don't know if you were on at this point, but I went over, so you'll want to go back to listen to the first half, but just as I was speaking a lot more about creating a movement, and that's either within yourself and within this as a team. It's why I love treating my personal business as a fitness ministry and within the VIP group, because I have found, and I'm not trying to say that Beachbody is above my relationship with Christ, because that's obviously by no means the point here, but I've had just as much of an impact in both areas to give me a passion of belief and confidence that I just see it as like, well, if I have that much of a passion, it's like, why the heck would I not want to share this with people? Like, It's just like my freaking passion for the Instapot. I keep bringing it up because I'm freaking laughing about the Instapot. But it's the same thing. It's like you hear other coaches talk about, like, if you love a movie, and by the way, we do have 40 minutes. So we have 10 minutes left. But you love a movie. What do? You tell all your friends and family about it. You preach about it on Facebook. You're not ashamed. You don't even think twice about it. Or if it's a restaurant you go to and you absolutely fall in love and there's this one dish that you're like, oh my gosh, you have to have this amazing dish. It's so great. It's so great. It's so great. It's like, you can't die without having this dish. It's the same thing. It's that same passion and energy. I was literally on the phone call right before our team call tonight, talking with somebody who was completely anti-shake. And because I listened to why she felt that way without pressuring, and through question after question, here she is, and she signed up with a free trial and then to get a sampler, which, by the way, I've actually never, ever in my 4 years had someone purchase a sampler. I'm very much like, no, you got to go all in with a 30 bag. It's like, I'm so adamant about that, but this one was just a little different and it felt weird signing up a sample pack. But anyways, it's one of those things where the more you find your soul and your spirit through all of this, that movement shines and your spirit shines so bright that people can't help but want to ask about it, and they just see that glow in you. And one thing I wanted to ask you guys was, so I'm working on, obviously you're seeing, me sharing like post ideas and challenges in the morning and stuff like that. But I also want to make sure that I'm doing the best to add value from in places that y'all are struggling, and me just not assuming, because obviously there's areas in every vital that we might struggle with. But from a posting standpoint, from ideas on how to create content plans and stuff like that, where do you feel like it would best serve for me to share more value as far as like creating video content that would help you guys, and to also be able to not just help you, but as you continue to grow your own personal sponsor coaches and things like that?
I just wanted to add something before I forget, before we go into that. whenever you're first beginning, don't feel like you have to have it all together to share, because people don't want to see your perfect, Beachbody life, because that's not real. That's not real life. That's not how it is. We struggle just like everybody else does. So be open to sharing those struggles as well, because that's what people are going to relate to, because they are struggling. They've been yo-yo dieting, or, they don't feel like getting up early in the morning and working out. But that's where you share that post with a picture of yourself with your energized, with your eye crust still, and starting your your on demand or whatever, because that's something that people are going to relate to. So just don't focus. I mean, yes, definitely focus on yourself, but try not to focus so much on finding that near perfection before you start sharing value of the products that you're using. Share the journey as you're going through it.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. And that's so true. Absolutely. I actually just thought of an idea. So I kind of like am answering my own question. So just let me know if this is something y'all think would be helpful. So I know that the team will sometimes do like a power hour session together. And I was thinking that maybe that could be something that we could do. So like it would be outside of our.
Yes. No,
Yeah?
okay.
All right, we got an amen. But basically what I was thinking that we could do is, now here's the thing. I can speak from experience with this. We have just under 6 minutes left. Anytime I went into the inviting and I would hear it over and over again, like I know, Nikki, you were like, yeah, I went through this, but I want to see what everybody else is doing. I was that person for 4 years, like constantly looking for, this can't work. Like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And I'm not saying that that's where you're at, but that's what my mind registered was like. I used to look for the next best thing that would work. I have literally spent thousands of dollars because I was so stuck and frustrated. I kid you not. Like I purchased personal coaches, like life coaches, for thousands of dollars, different programs over the years. Nothing works, because at the end of the day, it wasn't the programs that I was purchasing that didn't work, because they clearly are being able to charge for a reason, because they do something for people. But what I was doing was filling a void and creating this mess in my head of thinking like, oh, I can't do this. Like, that's just not how it works for me. I have to find something else. When at the end of the day, it was just me living in fear and not letting the pain push me to greatness, to realize like this actually does work. I just have to find my way. I just have to work on myself and figure it out and just keep pushing through. So the reason I bring all that up, because if we do this power hour, we're going to get to that place where I'm going to say, all right, next step, like first step. All right, do some friend requests. All right, next step. Start a conversation with somebody. All right, next step. Invite somebody to the coaching business, and then freeze. Your heart goes in palpitations and you're like, oh my gosh, like the idea of inviting somebody to this coaching business. Oh my gosh, what if they hate me? What if I get rejected? Like, what if I look retarded and they never want to talk to me again? What if they don't even respond to me? Then what? What if I see them in person? And then, oh my gosh, like all these things go through our head and we just paralyze ourselves. I've been there and it sucks. And so the reason why I say, yes, we can do a power hour and it will be very, very beneficial. It'll help us all to come together. But what I would say is maybe if we do it like on a Thursday or whatever, I'm just putting an example out. Say we do it on a Thursday night at 8 or 9 o'clock or something for an hour, and we go through it and we help each other. What I think would be most beneficial is the 3 days leading up to that power hour, making sure that we're posting, making sure that we're sharing the opportunity in an authentic way and branding ourselves, because that's what makes you feel more confident, because the people that engage with you and when you're putting yourself out there, it takes off that pressure and allows you to feel like, okay, there's this market, there's this brand, there's this space I'm putting out there, I'm being real and people are connecting. Now I can create those conversations. So those are the kind of things that help. Without doing those things, it makes it very uncomfortable. And I'm not saying it's not going to be uncomfortable, because that's one of those things that I preach about all the time. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. But do y'all feel like that would help, to where we like let up and said, all right, for 3 days, we're putting a heavy focus on this, supporting, again, going back to that movement, supporting each other, commenting on each other's posts, congratulating each other and really helping each other out from that standpoint, so that by the time we build up to that power hour, we are a powerhouse, and we're really helping.
We are a powerhouse. Our team's a powerhouse.
Yeah. So do y'all feel, can we get like a high five or like a whoop whoop if we feel like that would help? Yes? Okay, awesome. Do y'all want, what day is going to work? Thursday? Yes? No? I'm getting kind of mixed emotions here.
I'm open to any day, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah, Thursday.
okay, perfect. Do
Mine
y'all,
just depends on schedule.
what's that?
I said mine just depends on softball schedule.
Right. Okay.
I think we're going to be off for the next couple of weeks. Not sure. Obviously, next week we're not doing it because we'll be in Indiana, but we should have some time off after that because we've got a big gap between tournaments. So,
Okay. All right. So what we'll do, yeah, and thank you for reminding me. I would have said like, yes, next Thursday, and we literally will be in the middle of an auditorium of hundreds of thousands of people. not that many, 25,000. I might be exaggerating on that. But yes, we will be at Summit. It will be the first night of Summit. So next Thursday won't be possible, but what's going to be powerful is I think it's the following Tuesday or Thursday. Somebody, if y'all remember, because I know that like the next week we get back, there's going to be a Dare to Dream open house. And I think it would be fantastic to do it the night before that so that we can kind of open up the opportunity for people to be part of the open house if that is something that we end up doing. It'll just at least leave that window open. It's always the first, I always get the dates mixed up and I have it on my calendar, but I'll look that up. And I'll post it in Daring Faith for us to get a solid date because we have less than a minute and I just noticed. So that's what we're going to do. Powerhouse, Power Hour. We're going to make it happen. So stay tuned in Daring Faith. Let me know what you guys, how it works out for time frames and we'll go from there. So sound good, you guys?
Sounds great.
Awesome. I love you guys.
Love you guys.
Live in
Thank
Daring
you so
Faith.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.